Hello everyone, genghiswolves here from Stuff Giraffes, and today we're going to have a look at a M48 game I had recently. Random. I will try also not only to show what I'm doing, but explain a bit more in detail why I'm doing, what my thought process is, and how I think I can do the best for my team and for myself. As you probably know, the M48 got buffed in the last patch. As far as I know, the buff only concerned the gun, but it was a really nice buff. And in my opinion makes the M48 now able to contend with tanks such as the STP-1, since it's got very good gun depression, incredible accuracy on the move, very good aim time, and an actually solid TPM and accuracy to back it all off. As you can see, they're managing to get a really nice auto-aim snapshot into that lightweight. I'm deciding here on Erlenberg to move up on the right side. As you can see, it's a pretty standard game with 3 arties per team, couple tier 10s, couple tier 9s, couple tier 8s, couple scouts. Most normal you can get, really. And yeah, I decided to go on the right side because it's the most hilly part, I would say. And it favors mid to long range. Not extreme long range, but mid to long range. Hold down engagements where the very good gun depression, kind of bouncy turret, and just very good accuracy in the move and stuff like that. Makes the Patton a really good tank because I can just peek over a ridgeline, snapshot, get back down, peek up somewhere else, get unspotted when I need to, and so on. Trying to work on that Centurion 7-1. The Centurion 7-1's turret is normally pennable but can bounce. I guess it's actually pretty similar to the M48 in that regard. And as you can see, we have a really big overmatch on this side of the map. They have just a couple tier 9s and 8s, not even a single tier 10. The Lorraine, which was next to that Centurion, also started to run away really early on, and we are winning this flank completely. However, as you all know, if you win one flank because you have way more tanks, it probably means you're going to lose the other. As you can see already on the minimap, the enemy team is being really aggressive with the tier 10 heavies near the castle. Now I'm trying to get some snipes in over here. I don't like pushing into this area because it tends to be very hard to push over here, since a single hold down tank here or here basically denies you because you have to cross a huge open field. So instead of moving on over here to maybe get 1 or 2 shots into that Lorraine or Centurion, I decide to rotate around and get back in this area, where I can then snipe across into those tanks, allowing me to get some nice damage before my teammates over there die, or maybe even do enough to save them, or at least halt the enemy's progression. I do get spotted, but as you can see, I'm using this rubble in front of me to be able to be more or less hold down, and while a more or less hold down pattern is still very pennable, it means that a tank such as T-57 has to spend a lot of time to aim at me, which allows me to either shoot and get saved, and then he's not moving in the open, and he's not shooting, and so on. So at long range, I think a hold down pattern is pretty good. It's just not a turret you should rely on at short range. An enemy Batchat rolled in and destroyed our arties. I did see it a bit earlier than I reacted, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to save the arties anyway, so I would rather just do some damage here before the enemies all get safe after they notice me. But I have to chase that Patton down now, since in the end... that Batchat. Since a Batchat in our back can be really bad and carry the game very easily. However, I want to be careful because even if normally a Batchat with 5 shots only does 1950 damage, that would mean I'm down on 50 damage if I rush him. 50 HP rather. And he could even high roll. So I really want to play it slow and try and use the ridgelines to not allow him to get too close and actually clip me, use my turret armor and his really bad gun control. However, he decides to run, which to be honest I don't really agree with, since, well, it's not that easy to run from Patton. And he lost nearly all his HP. And I decide to cross over now. The reason for this is that my team is being aggressive over here. Basically what I said I don't like to do earlier. And from these areas here, from these ridgelines, I can get side shots into all the tanks over here. However, there's a T-28 Proto here I have to take out first. Let's go back into ×1 speed. And then I start getting clipped by a Batchat and a 1375. The Batchat appearing to be on that hill and staying unspotted, which pretty much forces me to back off. I tried to take out the IS-4 in a snapshot, but don't manage to. And I really can't push into here. I lost half of my HP. So I'm going to decide to back away for the moment. And the usual, very enjoyable World of Tanks random chat sites. I'm We're going to back away and try and get some vision, maybe see them if they try to push me or whatever. And it's now down to me and the T10 to carry this game. Both of us having a combined HP of 2500. The enemy does have a lot of low life tanks, but not that many either. Now this is a really crucial moment. I spot the enemy Batchat getting spotted over here, who was a guy who was shooting me unspotted from this hill. So with him gone, I can now move back again into my old position more or less, over here, use all these ridge lines and get a crossfire into this area, and at best even get into the G1 position, which is, in all honesty, just completely overpowered, and allows you to shoot all of this unspotted, spot a lot of things. I do encounter the IS-4, but managed to take him out with a nice aimed snapshot, I guess I would call that, before he managed to get a shot into me. And the T10 is spotting the T57, so I'm going to move up hard and try and get side shots into him. I do bounce my first shell, very unluckily I would say, and then my second shell on him low rolls really hard, and I don't manage to take him out. And he goes unspotted thanks to the amount of trees and bushes in front of me. I try and go forward to get eyes on him, but I don't. However, I do manage to spot the enemy 261, and obviously that's a prime target. Actually, I'm wrecking him for 100 damage. The T57 for some reason was expecting me to come from behind, and I got his ass. However, the T54E1 poked and missed one shot, but got a second one into me, and ammo racked me. Now, just real quick, let's make a pause here. I find this is always really important in these kind of moments. What's the situation? I'm on 567 HP. I'm ammo racked, which means I have a reload of around 13-14 seconds. The T54E1, which means that the T54E1 basically can clip me really easily if I don't manage to kill him immediately when I see him. The same thing goes actually for the SP1C, which, although it's only tier 7 scout, has a pretty good big gun, or a pretty good gun. Not big, but pretty good gun. Nice autoloader and can really be dangerous to me. The SP1C is a 1-shot and the MX1375 is a 2-shot, although I don't think I know that at this point in the game. So I'm going to move around and try and get the T54E1 from behind. The SP1C was rushing me, and I managed to take him out, which leaves the MX1375 who's just over 1-shot, and the T54E1. As you see, after I killed that SP1C, I slowed down and just started hiding. Okay, two things real quick. I just slowed down and started hiding to make sure I'm reloaded before I move forward. I really have to be careful I'm loaded every time I expect to encounter an enemy. Also, I spot the AMX over here, and I could just go up here and get a shot into him, maybe even get lucky and kill him. I decided to not do that, because I don't know where the T54E1 is exactly, but I know he's somewhere over here. And if I shoot the AMX, and then he comes roaring around one of these corners, or even over here, whatever, any corner really, I am dead. Because he has a pen and the alpha to just 2-shot me. So I go forwards, aim my shot, and take him out in the turret. Without him even being able to get a shot into me. And now it's a one-on-one between me and the MX1375. I'm hold down over here, at least more or less. I can back up into hold down position. Get a shot into him. He bounces a return shot. Then I just hide so I don't get rushed in my ammo racked reload. And move forward to finish him off. Earning a nice amount of gratitude from my team. Let's have a look at the post-game stats. Let's start with a personal score. As you see, I got a, I guess, rather unsurprising ace tanker. I wasn't actually aware of it during the game because I didn't remember exactly where the T10 died, being kind of busy with my own fights. But I actually managed to pick up a Kolobanovs. I think it's my 3rd I ever got. So I'm kind of happy about that, to be honest. I also got a high caliber and a top gun. High caliber, not very surprising. Top gun, neither, since I did get 7 kills at the end. I did a rather low amount for a hard carry of 6,245 damage, but most of my carry was relocating, taking out important tanks, and in all honesty just finishing off load of tanks at the end without getting surrounded. I fired 33 shots, from which I only penned 21. However, it was Ernenberg and there was a lot of long-range sniping, so I guess that is acceptable, although I did have some bounces I shouldn't have had, such as on the T28 prototype in the middle of the game. I only spotted 544 damage, but I did block nearly 1,000, which obviously was mainly due to shots from lower tier tanks, but just shows you the difference between, for example, an M48 hull and an STP hull, which is nearly butter, or even the Leopard, which is also kind of competing with his tank. And the advantage of having some armor, even if you pay for it in speed, is something everyone should consider personally. Mainly, at a tank which has a top speed of around 40 or 45 kilometers per hour, I traveled a total of nearly 5 kilometers, which is pretty impressive. I didn't actually fire any, or did I? I don't think I fired any heat shells now, as the ammunition kind of says, or the spending on ammunitions, and managed to make a profit of 64,000 just for the premium account in this game. Also, obviously, that doesn't mean the M48 is a credit printer. It's not every day you have this kind of a game. I hope you enjoyed this, I hope you could learn something, and I hope you make sure you follow this channel, and follow us on Twitch and Facebook, all links in the description below, because that would help us, and you would get some awesome content. See you next time.